Right, so just a bit of housekeeping as we start. Turn your phone off. Don't get distracted by your mobile phone. That's a good tip. Have your pen ready with paper so you can take plenty of notes. Now, just a bit of housekeeping with the speakers. That they are the fairly new speakers you're hearing from tonight. If you can keep your chat to a minimum while they're talking, just to be a bit respectful. But what we do to show our appreciation to the speakers is we give them a little round of applause by putting A's in the chat bar, just like this. Can we have some A's in the chat bar to show people that are new how we do things on the webinar? So we just put some A's in the chat bar when we like something saying, just to give them a bit of support in what they're doing. And after the two speakers, we'll have some training. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand you over to our first speaker. Tonight she's speaking for our first time. I'm really excited to hear from her. So I'm going to come off. You press talk now, Simone, when I disappear. And here's Simone Braybook in Nicky Strands.
Hi everyone, can you hear me okay? You can see this is my first time as I didn't press the button quite correctly just then. So as I said, my name's Simone. I'm based in Suffolk in East Anglia. I've been doing the business now for a few months. I think it was July when I started. I was sort of in between jobs at the time. I'd left my trainee role in HR because I was just swamped with work, had very little support, and I was studying at home and at work at the same time. So I was just miserable. So I did something that was completely out of character and sort of decided that that wasn't for me anymore. So when I was on my job hunt for a new full-time role, I came across the advert online. I sort of had a good idea of what the business was about as my mum joined a similar company about 10 years ago. So I thought, I've got plenty of time on my hands, so why not give it a go? And then 2 weeks later, I got a full-time job in the career that I wanted to go into, but I continued doing the business. I sort of thought it would be a good idea to join network marketing now because of social media. That's something that wasn't there 10 years ago or something like that. So I thought that would work to my benefit. So my reason why for continuing with the business is really security, extra treats, that type of thing. And down the line, when me and my partner decide to have children, then it'd be lovely for one of us or both of us to stay at home and bring up our children together, and not having to worry about money, which is the main thing. So where am I at the moment? I've just got my 10% last period. I've got my cheque here, printed it off for you, £233. It took me a couple of months to get there, but I got there eventually, with the support of my upline Nikki and everyone else around me as well. So my next goal, I think, is to go for 13% and hit the 1K and be part of that club. So what have I done to get me there? I've joined the webinars and online training, as well as going to the workshops. Joining on Skype calls and learning from other people. On one of the Skype calls recently, I did a book review on the 4 colour personalities, so that was a little bit out of my comfort zone. And then at the workshop yesterday, I was rushing off to go home and get my books, and Nikki came out after me, and then her and Luke decided to ask me to speak on the webinar, which is really out of my comfort zone, and I'm a bit nervous and a bit shaky, so be nice, please. So where do I want to go from here? I just think keep going and see what happens, really. So I've joined the ad pool, so I'm going to start sponsoring more seriously now and sort of see where that takes me. So have I got any advice for newbies? I think sometimes it can be a struggle, and I did find it a bit difficult to begin with, but you've just got to keep at it. Sometimes you'll have quiet days, quiet weeks, but you just got to keep at it and have faith that it will work out. So I've got a couple of quotes that sort of I like. A couple of them were actually for the weekend at the workshop, which was really good, and they sort of really stuck with me. So the first one is from Nike, which is just do it. So when I'm struggling to get out of bed in the morning and do my catalogues before I go to work and sit at my desk all day, I just have to say to myself, just do it. Otherwise, I'll be doing, my 9 to 5 job or half 8 till 5 job for the rest of my life. One that Neil said at the weekend, which I thought was quite funny. He wasn't desperate. He was just in a hurry. Another one is the only person you should try to be better than is the person who you were yesterday. So not to compare yourself to other people, just try and make a little improvement on what you were doing the day before and you're still going to be heading in the right direction. And then another one that Luke has just posted in another group, which is brilliant, and that is the chief cause of unhappiness is trading what you want most for what you want right now. So again, staying in bed when really, you want security and, freedom to work at your own pace at home around your children. And another thing, we all have each other. So if you have a down day, then just speak to your colleagues on here. There's always going to be someone around, probably at stupid o'clock in the morning as well. So just speak to someone if you need any support or guidance. So that's it from me. I hope that was okay, and may well see you again soon. So I'll hand you back to Luke now. Thanks, everyone.
So I am still here. I was wondering whether Mikey was going to have another little go or not. That's really fantastic, Simone. Actually, as first speakers go, it's one of the best I've seen. Actually, normally when I spoke for my first time on a webinar, it was about 2 minutes I was speaking for because I just sped through it 100 miles per hour. So I was really nervous and panicky the first time I spoke. So it was absolutely fantastic, and there's some really good, interesting things you said there. Actually, Simone. So you heard Simone's reasons why she's joining, so that's really something. Your reason why is a really strong thing to have in the business. But she says there she goes onto the webinars, she's come to the workshops, and she does the Skype calls with the team that she's in. She's in Nikki Stranzak's team, who's in Carly and Ian's team, and they do Skype calls all together. And what they do is someone does a book review on the Skype call, so they're all reading the books and plugging in, which is a really good book. She's read the 4 Colour Personalities, which is a book that I'm about halfway through at the moment. Who's read that book? Just put a Y in the chat bar if you've read that. If you read that 4 Colour Personality book, so I'd be interested to see how many people have read that. I think it's by Big Al, that book. There's a few people. Right now, I'm going to put you on the spot. Now, you guys have just quickly put the Y in there. What colour do you think you are? What colour personality do you think you are? In the chat bar. That'd be quite funny. And then those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, get that book and have a read of it, and then you can judge for yourself whether you agree or not with what they think. You also heard there that Simone coming on here and talking tonight. She's come on the webinar and speaking. So she's to come out of her comfort zone to come and do that. And stepping out your comfort zone is what it's all about. Once you get outside of that comfort zone, that's where the opportunity lies. That's where you grow as a person. And that's when you have more than what you've got now. If you want more than you got, then you've got to become more. And the only way to do that is by stepping out of your comfort zone. And she's just joined the ads poll recently, which is really fantastic. She's reached out to 10%. She's got her first check in the business. So just for the benefit of everyone else, if you just want to type in your first check in your first 4 weeks in the business, the book is the 4 Colour Personalities, the Kasura. Someone was 233 over 4 weeks. So 252, 296 there, 177, 264, 248, 338 Nicky. So you can see there, you can earn a couple of £100 straight away. And we say you want to invest some of that money out of your retail profit back into your business for paid advertising to get leads and get people coming into your business so that you can teach to do the same as you to build a big business to earn a lot more than that. So that was a really fantastic testimonial there, Simone. You've done brilliant. I'm now going to hand you over to our second speaker for tonight. He also is a little bit nervous. She's stepping out of her comfort zone as well. So it's another step growing in the business. So I'm going to hand you over to Karina Sterry. Take it away, Karina.
Hi, can you all hear me and see me okay? Excellent. Sorry, I didn't know whether I was meant to press the button then or not because Luke just disappeared and I just kind of guessed. So yes, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I apologise if I repeat what I said last time. I didn't realise that when Luke mentioned to me yesterday at the workshop about speaking again on the webinar that he was actually not kidding. So apologies if I repeat myself and you know bits about me. But yes, I'm Karina. I live in Gillingham in Kent with my husband and my little boy who's 2 next month. So I basically I work as a legal secretary for an insurance company. So I run my business online. So as I'm away from home for about 12 hours a day, so it's great to be able to do it whilst I'm on the move. I joined Clean Easy at the end of April, having seen a post by an old school friend on Facebook. I had a week's holiday in Wales with the family at the beginning of May. So it wasn't until a week later that I actually, set up my business and got going. My main goal is to earn £1,000 every month, so we'd be more financially comfortable, and possibly have a second child and obviously be a little bit more comfortable money-wise, if I'm on maternity leave. So far, my achievements are reaching 10% in periods 9 and 10, and then most recently I hit 13% in period 11, and I've also sponsored in 7 people. So very pleased with myself because I wasn't expecting that. So I never, I never thought I'd achieve that at all, but thanks to the support from my husband and my friends and from Luke, my upline, I managed to do that. I'd definitely say that attending the summer showcase in Birmingham, which was my first event, very, very eye-opening, but absolutely fantastic to go along there. Obviously go to the workshops on a monthly basis and, just stay in touch with my upline really. Not only have I achieved this, but I've made friends along the way, which is really good, and makes me feel a lot positive about the future and what's to come. The workshops and showcases and Skype calls and reading the books and everything is definitely important to developing the business, as well as on a personal level. You're just gonna feel better about so many things in your own day-to-day lifestyle. So yes, read. To end, I will share with you my goal for period 12. It's definitely going to be a big challenge, but my reason why is also big, so I will achieve it. I want to hit 15% and sponsor another 6 to 10 people. So for me to be able to do that, I'll obviously still be attending the workshops, reading books, getting involved in the ad pool, and just asking questions along the way that I need to, and staying in touch with my upline. But that's it. Thank you very much.
Excellent, Karina. Fantastic. So another great speaker there, stepping out of her comfort zone. Really good. Really, really brilliant, Karina. So you heard there, Karina's at the 13% level. So just for anyone that's new, 13% means that as a team, they retailed £1,560 on the last period over the last 4 weeks. Karina sponsored in 4 people last period as well, which is absolutely fantastic. That's all through Facebook, and that leads to success. And she's looking at joining the ads pool as well. So she's going to invest her biggest check that she's made so far back into her business to grow it, because that's what you need to think. She's got that vision. You've heard both there, Karina and Simone have both got the vision of where they want to be, where they're heading. And to get there, you've got to build a business. You've got to back yourself and build the business. Don't treat it like a job. They say treat it like a business, work it like a job is the way to do it. So Karina would have got her biggest check there. So just for the benefit of people that are new, that aren't sure the kind of money you can earn when you've been in the business a little while, can people just type in their biggest checks in the business? So mine was 1276 is what I earned in over a 4-week period in the Easter holidays. You got for Virginia there 329, fairly new in the business. Paula 1096. Rhian David has got £2,185. Really fantastic there. So who would like a check of over £1,000? Who would like to be earning over £1,000 every 4 weeks working from home? Just stick a little Y in the chat bar if you wouldn't mind an extra £1,000 coming into your bank. There's a few eyes. Excellent. Well, the training I'm going to give tonight is going to help you do that. If you put in what I'm training you tonight into practice, it's going to help you do that. So let me just upload the slides here for you. Where are we? Right, excellent. So, just a little bit of myself. I've been talking already after night. I didn't even tell you anything about me, so that was good, wasn't it? So my name's Luke. I run the business with my wife Sarah. When I joined the business, I was working as a full-time transport manager for a coach company. I was working about 50 hours a week, Monday to Friday, on call at weekends. And we had a house, we had a mortgage, we had a nice house to live in. We was putting food on the table. We was being able to treat the kids to nice things. The only problem is you've seen the posts and things on Facebook that tend to circulate. I was going to work to pay for the house that I wasn't living in because I was at work more than I was at home, and things had to change because I was missing out on a lot of the stuff my kids were doing growing up. So I joined the business. I worked it really hard around my job, and I built up my income so that I quit my full-time job. I still do a little bit of part-time work, but most of my work looks a bit like this sometimes. So this is me at home, and all I've got is a little desk underneath the stairs with a computer on it. I'm not there. I'm in the lounge today, so I take my business with me around the house, which is very good. So here on my lap here is Naomi and Cooper. On the left here, and then on the right is our youngest, is Adeline. So that's we had 3 children under the age of 4 when we started. Naomi's now 4, so it's now 3 children under the age of 5. I've got to start saying now. And anyone knows who's got kids in these pictures, I'm not getting any work done at all, as you can imagine. And this is some of the things that we've achieved in the business. So I've won a couple of trophies for sponsoring. There's a few people in here tonight that have done the same. So well done, you guys, on sponsoring the most people in the period. And then you've got there my biggest check in the business during the Easter holidays. I wasn't actually well for some of this, and I had we had the Easter holidays doing like Easter hunts, things like this, and that's I got paid just over £1,200 for doing that. But most importantly, what this business has done is what's in the picture on the right there. What it's done is it's made us happy. We were a lot happier. I was really miserable when I was working all the time, missing out on things. And now I've seen Adeline walk for the first time. I've heard her talk for the first time. I took Naomi to a swimming lesson today where she got her first swimming badge and has been told that she can move up a class, which is really fantastic. And that's stuff that I would have missed out on if I hadn't joined the business and worked hard around it. And this is, you heard this from Simone earlier, and I've just stuck this in there quickly tonight because Neil used it yesterday at the workshop. And I think it's a really fantastic quote. You heard it already. The chief cause of failure and happiness is trading what you want most for what you want right now. So when I cut down my hours, actually, when I started building the business, when I was at 15, 18% in the business and I was getting checks for about £600, I started cutting down my hours at work. And I cut down my hours so that I'd finish at 4 o'clock. So I'd beat all the rush hour and I'd get home really early. Now, what I could have done is I could have gone home. I could have sat down at the dinner table, had dinner with the family, with my wife and with the children, tucked them into bed, read them a story for bed, tucked them all in there and then, and just settled for that. But I didn't. When I got home early from work, I went out and I put my catalogues out. I picked up my bag of catalogues. I left Sarah to feed the kids and pack me up a dinner. She took them to bed and I went out and I went up and down the roads with my catalogues, getting them out there because I wasn't going to trade in what I wanted right now. What I wanted then was to be able to eat dinner with the kids and to spend my time with my family. But I didn't just want an evening to spend with them. I didn't want just to have dinner with them and then put them into bed. I want to spend all day with them. I want to do everything I can with them. So I wasn't going to trade in doing that to just do what I had then. I carried on. So I worked it really hard on the phones, ringing prospects up, helping my team members up until I'm at the point now where I can do all that. That we're going out. We've got a Halloween party during the day on Thursday that Sarah's going to with the kids that I'm going to go along to as well. And I would have been at work. I would have been able to enjoy things like that. So it's really important that you have that vision and that goal that you're working towards. But that's not my training tonight. So that's probably helped some of you already. What I'm training on is step 9 in the business, which is promoting and attending events, which is a really, really important step in the business. And the reason why it's important to promote the events and to attend the events is that this is the glue that holds your business together. And if you get really good at this step in the business, it pays you the big money in the business. And it's proven that if you have 10 people regularly attending the workshops and the showcases in Birmingham, you're going to have a gold distributor business, which is going to get you a check like what I've just shown you there. And you can get more than that. It's between £1,000 and £1,500. So if you and then you get 10 others to go to the workshops, you can get some checks like that. Because what happens is when we sign people up into the business, they're then involved in the business. So we're all involved in the business right now with what we're doing. And then when they come to the workshop, that's when we expose them to the business, to the bigger picture. Because it's really easy. It's hard to believe what you can achieve in this business. But they go to the workshop, they meet the other people that are doing well, and then they upgrade. They come in the business just to earn £50 a week because that's all they think they can earn in this business. But once they go to a workshop, they see it for themselves, and there's a lot more they can earn, and then they upgrade. So I'm just going to try and remember what my next slide is. Oh, that's right. So can anyone give me any reasons in the chat bar why people come and attend events? What are the benefits of attending events? Does anyone have a few guesses of what that might be in the chat bar? No guesses? You'll still hear me okay? I'm not talking to myself, am I? I'm not talking to myself, excellent. Gain more knowledge, yeah, that's one of them. Meet other people, help you go further. Extra training, motivation, excellent, Stephen. Right, so here's some reasons why people attend events. So they come for the information about the business, how things work, the figures, all the stats, what to do. Association, the power of association. By associating with the successful people in the business, you can also be successful in the business. There was a post that I saw on Facebook the other day, and it said if you spend your time with 5 confident people, you're going to end up being a confident person. If you spend most of your time with 5 millionaires, you can become a millionaire. If you spend your time with 5 idiots, ... So you can guess what the answer is to that one. So if you're spending your time with people that are positive, going forward, building their business, then you're going to be one of them as well. It's also the social proof and the belief in the business that people get. Because when I came into the business, I didn't truly believe that I could earn 30 grand a year. Like that's my aim, 30 grand a year to begin with in this business by putting catalogues out. So who would? It's really hard to grasp that by starting off putting catalogues through people's doors or by putting posts on Facebook. How could you possibly earn 30, 50, 100 grand a year doing something like that? It's only when you go to the events and you meet the other people that are doing it and have been there and done that, you think, well, why can't I do it? I can be one of those people that go and do that. And it's also, like you said, recharge the batteries. Motivation is like showering. You've got to keep doing it. You've got to keep motivating yourself. Even the really successful people can go flat sometimes. Even though I've had periods in the business where I've gone a bit flat, where I've got a bit down about things, and I'm kind of like just ticking along, not really flying in the business, just keeping it ticking over. And then I end up going to like an event or a workshop or something happens on a webinar, and then I'm off again. I'm off lying, doing what I need to do. And it's also the friendships and the support. You meet some fantastic people in this business, and you actually realise that some of the people you've been hanging around with most of your life aren't really good for you at all. And I see hardly any of the people I used to hang around with a couple of years ago because they just don't do anything. They're not really inspiring, anything like that. They're not really going anywhere. And other people that I speak to now in the business, they really excite me. I have a really good time with them because we're really pushing forward and doing something with our lives. And the support you get at these workshops, I remember going to my very first one. I didn't really know what was going on. I knew nothing about the business. I didn't really know how the industry works. And I went in there. I sat down next to a lady called Sarah. She's not in the 10 steps. She's in a different team. I sat down next to her and we had a little chat. And she was really supportive and then giving me advice. And all the advice she was giving me, that didn't help her. That whatever I'd done wasn't going to help her with her business. But there's people like that through the business that will help you selflessly. Now, who attends events? What sort of people do you think you get at events? Are they all new people coming to the events? Are they all people that are kind of in the middle of their business, or do the people that are earning the 10 grand a month come to the events? Well, here's a story from Eric Worre. If you read GoPro, you'll know this, but I'll just remind you of it. Even if you have it, starts from page 111 on GoPro. But Eric Worre, he'd been in a few networks before. He was struggling with these business and not sure how to get it going, really going. And he met someone that was really successful in network marketing. I can't remember who it was now. And he said to him, "What is the secret? What is the secret of building a successful business?" And the guy said to him, "Well, if you look at this room here, and they're at this big event, they're at an event, and they said, you see there's 2,000 people in this room entered in this event, but in 4 weeks' time, at the next event, only 1,000 of these people that are here now are going to be at the next one. But that 1,000 people will be earning twice as much as the other 1,000 that are in the room. And out of that 1,000 that go to that one, only 500 of them are going to go to the next one. But those 500 will be earning 4 times more than the other 1,500 people that are in the room." And then it goes forward on from there. So you can see the picture there. So who attends events? Everyone. Who attends every single event? The successful people attend every successful event. So if you haven't read that book, read it. If you have read it, go back and just read that chapter there. So when should we promote in events? When do we promote events with our team? All the time. Take advantage of every opportunity. Every time I'm on the phone with a team member, or we do a Skype call, or they're just asking me for help, I say to them, "Are you coming to Cambridge, or are you going to Bristol, or whatever their nearest event is?" I ask them if they're going, or I ask them what they're up to on that day, and we get them there at the event. When I do the getting started Skype call with a new team member, so they've just signed up. 24 hours later, I'm doing the Skype call. I start promoting it then. I'm telling them that they need to book into that event if they want to get what they want out of the business. And there's a big difference to promoting the event and announcing the event. Just tagging them in a post on Facebook isn't going to do it. Just popping it in a message isn't going to do it. The best ways of doing it are the first two in this list. Skype on the Skype calls is a really good way when you're face to face on there to promote the event. Or on the telephone, actually talking to the people is a good way of doing it. Messenger and email and texting you can also use to continually promote it, but that's more announcing than it's promoting. Actually speaking to them in person is going to get them there quicker. Now, why do you think people don't attend events? What reasons do people have that they can't come to events? Now, I'm going to give you some examples here. I'll get you all guess because there are some funny ones on there that people have said to me before where they can't come. Like they're going to a football match or something like that, or the Super Bowl's on, they can't come because it's the Super Bowl. Funny things like that. But here's the reasons why people don't attend events mainly. Is a lack of confidence. Lack of confidence is one, and the only way you get more confident is by attending them. But here's a reason why people don't attend events. So just a sample, there's other reasons that they give. They say that it's their kids, they can't get childcare to look after their kids. They're working, people sometimes are working on that day. It's too short notice to go to the meeting. It's too far, they can't afford it. But actually, the only reason why people don't attend events, because they're not reasons, they're excuses. You might not like to hear that, some of you, but it's an excuse. The only reason why people don't attend events is because they don't understand the value that they're going to get out of the workshop. If they understood the value that they get out of the workshop, then they would be there. They would get childcare. If I said that we was giving away 25 grand to every single person that attended the next workshop in Cambridge, do you think someone would be able to change their shift at work to be there at that workshop? I think they probably would. Is it too far? There's a lady up in Scotland I know who used to travel about 7 hours to get to her nearest workshop. There's a what's the other one there? Well, that's what I was going to say. In about 4 years ago, I can't remember how long, there didn't used to be all these workshops all over the country. There used to be just one workshop in Birmingham. So there used to be one meeting a month in Birmingham. And everybody who was serious and successful in their business would travel to Birmingham. So they'd travel up from Southampton, they'd travel down from Scotland, they'd fly over from Ireland to go to that meeting because they understood the value that it would give for their business. And if you can't afford it, it is a really big and good idea. If you can't afford it, then you've got to go to it. Because if you can't afford it, what's going to change if you're not going to these workshops and learning how to earn this sort of money so you can afford whatever you want? So you need to find a way to afford it. And so what our job is to do is to help our people, our team members, understand the value and help them find a solution to get there. And so you can use their goals to help them find a solution to get there, whatever their goals are. If someone said to me, like all those people that typed why in the chat bar that they wanted to earn over £1,000 in their business, then you need to get to the workshop because you're not going to earn £1,000 in the business if you don't go to them. And that's the fact, that's the truth. If you don't go to the workshops and you want to earn £1,000 in this business, you're kidding yourself, quite frankly. So if you want to earn serious money, you've got to do what the successful people do, which is attend the workshops and the events in Birmingham as well, the showcases. And you can just use other people's stories as well. I'll tell you my story right now. When Leanne told me that I signed up on a Thursday night, and Leanne said to me, your next showcase is in Slough on Saturday. So that's 2 days away, about an hour and a half away from where I am. And I didn't really understand the business. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I was just doing it because I was so miserable that I just wanted to find any way out to get out of my job. And I said to her, I was too short notice. I can't go on that day. About 10 minutes later, I thought, well, actually, like if I really want to get out of my job and get what I want, I need to go. So I booked in 10 minutes after I said that to Leanne. And the reason why I booked in is because Leanne, I'm blowing the trumpet a bit here, is really good at not accepting the first reason that someone gives. Because the first reason someone gives you, or first excuse that someone gives you that they can't go, is just that. It's normally an excuse because they're not really committed, they don't really understand what they're going to get out of it. So we just need to find their reasons why to get them there. And if I hadn't have gone to my first workshop, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you guys. Probably, I'd probably be asleep because I'd be absolutely shattered. Because I'd probably been working from like 5:30, got home about 7 o'clock. I probably would have had to fire someone today. Maybe I used to have to do that in my job, like fire people. I'd have been really depressed because I've had to do that because I never enjoyed doing that. I mean, who does? I'd come home and I would have walked up the stairs, not spoken to anyone, and just gone to bed. But now, because I did go to that workshop, I've got some fantastic training from Neil, and I heard his story and how he started off in the business. As soon as I got back from that workshop, I could not wait for my catalogues to arrive on the Monday. I was so excited to get my catalogues packed up and get out and start giving them to people. As soon as that box came in, I was packing them up and I was out the door presenting them to people. And then I would never have thought, if you had asked me on the Thursday morning before I signed up, next week you're going to be really excited to be going up and down the road giving out catalogues. There's no way I would have believed them. But after going to that workshop, I could not wait to get my catalogues out and get my group up and running and start building towards that future that I wanted. So, just to summarise what we've just gone over tonight, we've gone over the business and how it's really important. It's the glue that holds the business together. If you've got 10 people attending the workshops regularly, you're going to have a gold distributor business. So if you haven't had anyone at the workshop yet and you've got a team, you need to really promote them and get them there, because the truth is they're probably going to leave anyway if they don't go. If you're not going to them, then you're probably not going to be in the business very long. So it's really important to get to the workshops. They go there for the information, social proof, belief, and the top earners attend every event. And you need to promote the event at every opportunity. Don't just announce it, and help your distributor come up to a solution, but lead by example. You've got to be at every event. If you've got a team and you want them to be doing really well and you want them to get what they want, so in turn you get what you want, then you need to be there at the events. They're not going to go if you're not going, so you need to be at all the workshops and all the events. So I'm just going to go. That's the summary of the training. Now, if you've got that training and you liked that, and it's something that you want to be doing, and you want to be earning over £1,000, or you want to be, or even if you want to earn £500 regularly, or if you want to help someone else earn that sort of money. And then the event's coming up. There's this Saturday in Bolton. That's at 10 o'clock to 2:30. There's also Bristol this Saturday at 1 to 5 in the afternoon. And on Sunday, there's a workshop in Birmingham. So if you're in the Midlands, you want to get yourself to Birmingham. And on Saturday, the 5th of November, is Scotland, and that's 11 till 3. There's also Ireland on the 6th at 1 to 4. Is there one in Ireland? That's news to me. And there's in Yorkshire on Sunday, the 6th, at 10 to 2:30. And then at the end of November, on the 20th, me and Neil will be back at Cambridge again, helping you guys train on some other steps of the business. So you want to go to the www.the10steps.info right now. Let's type that in here. the10steps.info. You want to click on that link right now, go on to where it says workshops, and book in to the event. What you want to do, Terry, is you want to book in, you want to get your ticket, and then you want to find a babysitter. That'll be the best way to do it. So you book into the event, commit to that, and then get there, because thank you, Mikey, for your superb hosting tonight. Very good. And now I have to thank myself for the training, do I? I'm not too sure. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a really good night, and I'll see you when I see you. Thank you very much.